Okay, so we'll start off with the intro, just to scenario where Landon Meyer is minding his own business, tending shop, uh, and um, and the camera zooms out from the bookstore, and it zooms back in on this young woman who is who's a quiet woman, sort of like a college student, walking home from school late at night. You can tell that she's tired and she's been studying all day, and she's walking along the green banks of the Arcelitre River, home coming back from the Arcelitre Public University, and it's a beautiful indigo sunset. There's a chill wind that rushes up from the water, and she finds shelter in one of her frequent stops, a drab but cozy bookstore that's just a couple blocks from her home. And that's where we find uh, our guy here, Landon Meyer. And she makes her way to the gardening section, and she's looking up a bunch of magazines and books, and she sees a volume dedicated to the propagation of a new rose species. And she's actually been looking through that book for a few weeks now, and Landon has noticed, and he looks up, and his face turns a little bit red just looking at her, and but she's so absorbed by the book that she doesn't notice just how quiet the store is, and and she doesn't realize like how few books are actually on the store shelves. And um and so um and so she brings the book up to the counter, and she's actually going to buy it this time. She saved up for a few weeks, and she brings it up to the counter, and Landon tries to make a conversation. And she says, yes, I have quite an interest in rose gardening. And she says, no, I don't have any experience. Um, yeah, I would like to discuss rose rose growing technique over dinner. That'd be nice, she says with a silly grin, and Landon is looking over at her, speaking to another patron, and his face turns a deeper shade of red. She doesn't notice Landon. She doesn't notice how Landon has been watching her coming from the street, and she never noticed. How could she notice the ribbon wrapped copy of the book that she's about to buy that he's holding behind the counter? And so that is how we will end the introduction scene. So that's it for the intro scene. Next, we're going to do phase one, in which each pair does an everyday scene. And so I'm going to explain how we're going to do this real quick. So in this scene, in these scenes, the pair are going to each pair is going to act it out, and whoever is not in the scene is going to be giving out bouquets, and so you guys should see like a deck of cards on your
Yes,
screen.
I see
So
it. Bottom corner right
okay,
here.
yeah,
Yep,
so
yep, yep.
there is only one card in this deck, but it's infinite, so you can pull it out from the top and just drop it onto the bottom. But I think that the actual best thing to do is if you can drag it to whoever the player is, like onto like their icon.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yes. Then if you can do that, um, I could also recall them. So let's see, let's recall them all. So I can recall them all, but I won't do that from now on because we need to keep track of how many we are earning. So every time something great happens, or interesting happens, or something funny, basically anything that elicits any sort of emotional response, go ahead and throw a bouquet at them. It's okay if
Uh,
mhm.
Sorry. Is there any limit to how many we can give?
No, there is no limit. Like just like limit to like one per response, I guess. I think in the replay they were earning like 12 to 15 per thing, I think.
Wow.
How
It might
many
have
players
been
did they have in the replay, though?
I think it was 3.
Okay.
It
What?
was 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so just like literally just throw them at them. Just load them up because they will be useful in the final stage.
All right.
So that's how we're gonna do it. Glad that Roll20 has a tool that we can do to keep track of them. Now remember that we want to give them to the bringer and not the sheath, because the bringer is the one that's actually going to be using them.
Okay, so the bouquets will go to the bringer that is leading this scene.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've actually set up little stages for each player, but um, I guess it would only really help if we knew what we were doing beforehand. And I don't have the random tables that's going to tell us what to do. So unfortunately, um, might not help. But
All right, so we're gonna have to find some other method to sort of generate scenes, aren't we?
yes.
Okay. So they're basically day in the life scenes, right?
Yes. Now, I do have 2 books on me. One of them is Yankees and Yog-Sothoth. So I'm sure that there's a scene chart in there.
I'm not sure how Japanese street punks fighting eldritch horrors is going to help us come up with appropriate scenes for Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Well, the other book I have is Kurayami Crying, which is a horror RPG. So that probably won't help us either.
Actually, why don't we use the Magica Logia scene table?
Oh, hey, yeah, let's do that.
That's right. You have that access to that, don't you?
It's in the file I sent you earlier.
Yeah.
I can't remember which page I put it on though. It's been a while.
All right, give me just a moment, and I think I can dig it out.
Why are you doing that?
Because that one's urban fantasy, so it broadly fits.
Perfect.
Man, this song is perfect for both my characters.
The one you posted in the media channel?
Yeah.
All right, Magica Logia.
Yeah, which I still regret doing on Google Docs because this was a mistake.
All
right. Let's see. I should have it in.
Guidance, bestiary. Maybe it would
should be under the main phase bit. It's under drama scenes. It's on page
scene table 2d6.
Yeah.
I am human and I to be
page
loved,
44 in the document.
Yeah.
Just like everyone else does.
Yeah. He is a lot more unweebiated than I've ever seen him before, because he's never started singing in the middle of a game before.
That's such a good song.
Right. Oh, what the? Okay. So, using the Magicalogia translated table for scenes. You know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'll go ahead and lead this off if no one has any objection.
Sure, go for it.
So the syntax, by the way, for rolling dice in Roll20 is /R, and then for rolling like 2 6-sided dice, it's 2d6, and then you can type anything else after that to sort of give a notation for what that roll is for. Like I just wrote /R 2d6 space scene table, which will pop up that right there in the chat pane for you. So we can see that I'm rolling on the scene table for that particular roll.
Cool.
So 3. So for this one,
A dream.
Images from the recent past appear before you. So we established that Frank is isekai. He's not from this world. He was originally from Massachusetts, we'll say. And recent past, we'll say it was we'll say that the dream he had was from when he was having a dream that was basically just him reliving coming to the world that this game takes place in. And he's sort of he's still homeless in this world, we'll say. So he just sort of wakes up in a gutter He wakes up in a gutter screaming, sort of screaming in not necessarily terror, but just like the sort of screaming you do when you're like going down a water slide or something. It's like what? Oh. All right. Looks like I'm still in the gutter where I lay down for a little bit. He looks up, trying to get a gauge for what time it is. We'll say it's R1D24. 7 in the morning. It's 7 in the morning. It was like, oh, I must have slept all night. And we'll say that he's sleeping in a gutter in the university somewhere, just so that we can bring his Sheathe into the scene.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I guess I can enter, right? So,
yes.
Let's see. Linksay probably is heading out. I think she's heading out to like teach her first lesson of the morning, or rather to help to teach the first lesson of the morning. She walks by. She's wearing like glasses with like long black hair. She's kind of like she's carrying like a lot of books. It's kind of heavy, and she is like, you know, that those scenes where it's like they're carrying such a tall stack of books that they literally can't see in front of them. Like if they look in front, it's just the books. Yeah. So she's looking like that, and because of that, but because she's so used to the route, she walks it every morning. She doesn't like fall into the gutter. But then she's walking halfway, and she suddenly hears ah, and she's like, what? She's like startled, and she almost drops her stuff, but she like kind of steadies her balances, and she's like, she looks over and sees like this. I guess you look disheveled, right?
A little disheveled. It's
Just
been a while
sleeping in
since
the gutter.
it's been a while since he's been able to bathe and comb his hair.
Okay, so she looks over and she sees like this disheveled man sitting in the gutter, and she's like, "Ha!" And she slowly starts to back away.
Oh, don't worry. I don't mean you any harm. I just had a bad dream, is all.
Okay, so she puts down. She walks up closer. She checks her watch to see whether she has time. She decides that she does, because actually her lessons is like 2 hours. She just likes to be early. She puts down her stuff and she goes over and like a bad dream.
Yeah. Something like oh well, you know how when you get really, really, really drunk and the room starts spinning and spinning and spinning.
I'm too young to drink.
Okay, imagine you're on a merry-go-round then.
I've never been on a merry-go-round in my life.
This is going to be very challenging to explain that.
Hold on. Crap. Hold on. I should be supposed to be throwing stuff at. Alright, go ahead.
This is going to be a very challenging thing to explain then. Have you ever spun around in a swivel chair? I'm going to guess from the look on your face, no.
I mean, I've been spun around in one. I've never actually spun around myself, but yes, kind of, I guess.
All right. Now imagine you did that really fast. And
Okay.
then you fall backwards.
Okay.
And instead of hitting the ground, you just kept falling.
Okay.
I had a dream once that happened. And then I realized I wasn't in Boston anymore when I woke up.
Huh.
And I woke up around abouts here. Looks like this is some sort of university, right?
Yeah. This is what university is this? Do we know? Or is it rather GM?
We can call it I don't know, Riverdale.
Riverdale? Sure, let's go with Riverdale.
Yeah, this is Riverdale University. I'm a teaching assistant here.
Or you can call it the Smiths University.
Let's go with Riverdale.
Anyways, I think maybe introductions are in order. My name is Frank O'Connor.
Okay. Hi, I'm Fang Lingqi.
Fang Ling Chi.
Oh, you got it right the first time. That's rare.
I've seen a lot of sights and traveled many miles. I've shook 1,000 hands and seen my share of smiles.
That sounds unhygienic, but okay.
I make sure to wash up whenever I can. Incidentally, is there happen to be a public restroom somewhere around?
There are restrooms, but they're reserved for students
Huh.
and staff use. I guess if you head over I point in the direction where there's the general direction of the school, but not the research buildings. There should be public restrooms around there if you go that direction for about 15 minutes by foot.
15 minutes in about that direction, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. And I'm guessing you're one of the faculty here?
Yeah, I'm a teaching assistant. I just started though, but yeah, I'm actually working on my doctorate.
Too young to drink, and you're working on your doctorate.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really something right there. And then Frank starts patting around in his jacket, and he takes a flask out, pops it open, takes a swig real quick.
And she's like, she looks at that with a bit of discomfort because she doesn't like the idea of drinking. But other than that, she says nothing.
Whiskey, breakfast of champions.
Right.
Anyways, I think I've held you up enough. I'm gonna go and see if I can wash up a little bit and make myself a little bit more presentable. Good luck with your class. Good luck with your classes, Ling Chi.
Thank you, Frank.
Frank O'Connor. Frank O'Connor.
O'Connor. Frank.
Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
And so he goes
easier.
off, then he sings a little song under his breath. In South Australia I was born, heave away, haul away, South Australia, round Cape Horn, bound for South Australia.
And Ling Qi is just tilting her head, where's Australia? And then she just shakes her head and walks off.
All right, NC.